I listened to Trump's press conference today, and I'm going to read you some of the things that he said, some of the questions that he was asked after he announced that they were moving Space Command. He talked about a few other things, and then he closed. Pretty quickly after they brought up Putin, he was like, okay, thank you, and he walked off, which I thought was very interesting. But one of the questions that he was asked was the school shooting that happened this last week and, what they could do. His response, and I got as much of this verbatim as I could. There are a couple phrases that I did miss on each one of these, but this is what he is saying. Teachers and parents love the children. Take the small percentage of teachers in the military you let them carry. That's something a lot of people like. They're trained. They know about weapons. Can't do it with every teacher. We've had a lot of instances. Other countries have also. They have different problems, but we have something going on, and it's a bad thing. That's how he addressed what they could do with school shootings. He also talked about if they were to lock it from the outside or from the inside, then if there was an issue, the police couldn't come in, and then he went on to this. He then, as he was talking about it, starts talking about safety concerns in other cities, and he goes back into Gavin Newsom, of course, and he talks about how they released the water when they had the fires. We had to release the water to LA. If I didn't send the National Guard into LA, I would be making an announcement today and simultaneously saying the Olympics are not coming to LA. If we had not done this, the top law enforcement have said it. So it's just funny the things that he keeps bringing up that are probably hot topics with MAGA. I don't know, but we're still talking about the water that he released. Then he's asked about Governor Pritzker, about Illinois, and about the National Guard going there. And he says, he goes into DC. Says it's now a safe zone. We have no crime. It's in such great shape you can walk right down the middle of the street and you're safe. It's so dangerous. There are people in this audience who have been mugged and hurt badly. You were very brave to talk about it. He was pointing to a specific reporter at that. There are other people in this room that have been hurt very badly just walking down the street. It's now a safe city. Restaurants are open. He talks about then that more restaurants are now going to be opening because it's so safe. This city was really bad. We took 1,600 people out, hardcore criminals that will not be coming back anytime soon. It was many years where every single week somebody was unalived. This went on for years. Nobody was unalive last week. I made that announcement in front of a distinguished gentleman from another country. Yeah, we had a little bit of a crime problem, but we don't have a problem anymore. I would love Pritzker to call me. I would gain respect for him if he said, yes, please send them in. People are petrified. If the governor will call me up, I would love to do it. We're going to do it anyway. And that includes Baltimore. Baltimore is a very unsafe place. It's one of the most unsafe places in the world. We had a great decision from the Supreme Court that had to do with talent. You can hire based on merit. A policeman is strong, physically fit, and not someone who got the job through woke. Proud of what they're doing in DC, and they'll be doing it in other places. Then he was asked, this is kind of funny, then he was asked about the video where they were showing something was getting thrown out the window at the White House. And he says, probably AI of the video throwing things out the window. He said that he hadn't seen it. He knew nothing of it. He did look very surprised about this one. You can't open the windows because they're all bulletproof and don't open. Every window. My wife was complaining about it the other day, but you can't. They're bulletproof. They're sealed. They weigh 600 pounds. Where was a window? Let me see. So then somebody brings the phone up and shows him the video where they are throwing things out. And he says, those windows are all sealed. You can't open them. It's the kind of thing they do. One of the problems with AI is if something awful happens, blame AI. There's truth to it. I see so many phony things. I've seen things since I was a baby. Okay, he's 78. Since I was a baby and say, who did that? And it was AI. AI since he was a baby? Okay. And then there were some questions that went, I missed a couple of things because they started an hour late, but then once they started talking about Putin, they closed down. They ended pretty quickly. So let me know if you guys watched it and what thoughts you have about some of these things that he was saying.